welcome to our boat tour.
Oh gosh.
This is our 1979 Fast Passage 39. It was built in Sydney by Phil Brooks. Yes, this is it. It's blue and white. Starting at the front of the boat, this is our big 55-pound rocknet anchor that we recently learned how to use. Because the fun fact of an electric windlass, it's not like throwing your anchor off and it hitting the ground. That took some getting used to. We have our navigational lights that Mark is going to fix because they currently don't work. It's a fiberglass hull with little lines in it to make it look like it's wood. And it's also baby blue, which you may or may not be able to see. The nice little teak tow rail. That also, the raging debate of varnish versus teak oil is ongoing. Moving along, we have some very high lifelines, so there should be fewer accidents at sea, hopefully. We have some nice dock line art, courtesy of me. All the way in the back here. It is not a full keel, but it is an encapsulated keel, so the keel will not fall off, which was a very important thing when we were boat shopping. Back here, we have the back of the boat. We have a Mercury dinghy, and we also do have a motor that goes with it. We use the electric motor, not the gas motor, for several reasons. We have a big solar arch and some wind generator, a wind generator on top.
Going by.
We also have a pile of stern tying line because in BC it's important and we need to stern tie a lot. And the rudder is a skeg hung rudder back there that can take a good bull kelp hit. Just to clear that up. Right. Going aboard. It's a big step up, literally and figuratively, from our last boat. So the lifelines are really high. All of our standing rigging, these doodads, were all replaced in 2019 by the previous owners. So that's exciting. They weren't replaced by the previous owners, they were replaced by Blackline, but the previous owners paid for it. We have this sweet new pole that we bought in Nanaimo.
Mm-hmm.
We have the spinnaker line for the non-existent spinnaker that we don't.
Although we have spinnaker.
We do have a spinnaker from the last boat, and the sails were all oversized, so we think the spinnaker may fit. We just haven't sorted that out.
Don't be too small, but it's okay.
Coming all the way forward, we have the danger butterfly hatches, which will be promptly replaced, but they are lovely. And they open up. But every time you tack, the Genoa sheets get stuck underneath, so they gotta go.
We have replacement Lumars here.
We have the little mushroom vent into our V-berth, mystery panel, and mystery doodad.
If anyone knows what it is, let us know.
Mm-hmm. We have the electric windlass. Prior to this, we had the Mark version of windlass, which got the anchor down really fast, just didn't get the anchor up without a lot of whining. So this has little buttons with no whining, but it does move a lot slower. We have 300 feet of chain or 250. We're not sure because the previous owners didn't really mark it. So that's a fun mystery that needs to be solved. This thing just goes with the windlass. We have a Furlex Genoa for our 150% Genoa or 130% Genoa. It's actually in really good shape.
Yeah, so North Sails.
We have our Genoa sheets that are fuzzy, and we do have a nice new line for them. Moving on this side, you'll notice there is a pole missing here. It had an unfortunate accident with a mooring ball. There's no grab rails, that'll be sorted out. We have all of the winches that you could possibly want on a deck. There's one here, there's 3 over there. None of our, I shouldn't say none of our rigging, but most of the lines are all at the mast. The only thing that is pulled back is the main sheet and the travelers. Probably have to sort that out at some point.
But there's lots of deck real estate to do so.
We've got some shore power outlets here.
Only one works.
We also have a lovely chimney for our inside diesel stove. Another exit. Nice. Oh, we have a boarding ladder because we don't have a swim platform. So that does make swimming a little bit more challenging. We also don't quite know where the best place to jump off the boat is from, but we'll figure that out.
Could be a trial and error thing.
It's a very large traveler that we have. Another little mushroom venti. We have, this is the best, this is the traveler, lovely. The most exciting thing for people who didn't have a Dodger and a Bimini is to now have a Dodger and a Bimini, and it's so exciting. It is absolutely falling apart and needs to be redone, but the point is we have one, so we're not going to get sunstroke. We also don't get rained on. It keeps wind off of us. It's probably one of the best things. Also, this is the boom and the mast. We're not sure how tall it is. We think around 50 some odd feet. We've got to get it, we've got to measure it so we know. It's a north sail in there. It's pretty tired and probably needs to be replaced, so
it also needs battens.
Maybe Precision Sails will send us some.
We have our self-tailing winches throughout. These guys, all Lumar, all really nice. I look forward to servicing them. And then inside our cockpit, the only thing that we have that's really different than other fast passages that I've seen is this sweet seat. So it's very comfortable to sit and then foot steer. The previous owners also installed a lot of electronics. So I don't actually have this turned on right now, but the BNG screen over here, have a BNG wind sensor, as well as that radar that I showed you before. We've got our ICOM, this is AIS driven. We also have a Vesper unit that does our anchor alarm and our AIS transmitting, and our brand new Beta Marine panel. There's two big lazarettes in here that are full of garbage right now, but we'll figure that part out. We have more than enough power cables, like way too many. Under the seat too, there's a little inaccessible area that I'll make accessible soon, that we will use for other things, like maybe sails. We need more sails.
And way back here, we have just a tiny little back porch where we have this random hook. I don't know what that's for. We have the man overboard system, which we have learned is not Canadian Coast Guard certified, so still need a life ring. Fun fact. Or a Canadian flag. We have this nice little seat here and a little place to put your feet. So, you know.
This is also where I sat to try to free us from the bull kelp attack.
The bull kelp of 2021 attack. But it's a nice little spot back here. It's kind of hard to get to, so that's a bit annoying, but whatever. Let's go below. It is a great companionway. It slides open like this, and then there's little doors that flip open. Mostly because I hated having the dagger boards or whatever they're called that drop down, and then I'd have to like put them somewhere. So these just swing open and close. Companionway is slightly dangerous. There are no handholds, so
Safety was not a priority for this boat.
Was not a priority.
The best way to get into this companionway is this little lip here.
Just take my jacket off because it's kind of toasty. And maybe I'll just hang my jacket on one of the various hooks that we have. Look at that. We're not 100% sure what the previous owners were thinking with all of the hooks. However, some of the hooks do come in handy also.
Put on your hat, yacht hunter.
I'm not a yacht hunter, but I do love Captain Q, and I do have a hat for the summer. And it takes a special place in the boat. Okay, so as you can see, there's no grab rails on the companionway. It's very dangerous. The boat is also less of a boat and more of a condo. So we've got all the hanging stuff for our keys, our electric motor, our safety flares, our little tooter. There is a nice, this locker actually comes in handy. There's nothing in it, but it is nice to have as soon as we come in. We also have the tiny Danforth, which we're assuming is for the dinghy because it is not going to hold shit on this boat. Shoes. We have the previous owner's handiwork here, and inside we have some storage and more storage and more storage and more storage all the way down. We're not sure what's behind all of this stuff, but there's something there. We also have, which is actually one of our favorite parts, is a bad cameraman, but we have a really huge storage shed back here for all of the things that go along with boats, like engine parts, wrenches, tools. We have a water maker down here, which is pickled right now. Very exciting. I don't know if Mark wants to say anything about what's in there.
Lots of stuff. It goes back a ways. And then there's also a door to the nether region there, which I'm not going to open.
It's full of garbage right now.
This is what would be, so imagine a wall here, and I'm opening the door to our stateroom. This is our stateroom. This is our bed. It looked surprisingly small when we looked at the boat, but we spent some time on it sleeping here, and it's actually really big. I mean, I do like to sleep under the watchful eye of all my hook friends and the water maker, which is probably something we're gonna have to fix eventually, but for now, it goes really far back down here, so there's lots of space. Don't know if there's a lot of space for 2 people and 2 dogs. And then we have lots of shelvy holes in here where we can put things.
Which is very functional, but it's not very aesthetically pleasing.
It's moderately functional and very not aesthetically pleasing. We have a little handhold here and a nice little window. We have this big table area, which really is just hiding the motor. It's under here. We cannot get to the motor from this side.
Yep.
Oh, we
Pop
can. Okay, we can get, oops. We can get to the motor from this side. You will see it is a brand new Beta Marine. It's very clean and shiny.
Although, can't see much.
You can't see much because it's pretty dark.
That is a
Borg Warner original transmission with Velvet Drive, which I'm quite happy about.
Oh, here we go. It's just disappearing now. We can look at the engine some more. It's really bad with this. More engine stuff. It's an engine.
That's quite a close-up.
It does engine things.
Yeah, right.
This is our galley, complete with 1980s tiles.
And how do you feel about those tiles?
They're a health hazard. They're awful. They're really ugly. The tiles are everywhere. The galley's kind of a galley. There used to be, as best we can tell, there used to be a gimbaled stove. Now we have a Force 10 electric cooktop. We also have the Wallace diesel cooktop, which might be my favorite thing because when it's up, it's a little cooktop. But when you put the lid down and turn it on, it becomes a heater, which has been very nice and useful these last couple of weeks. We have the big pot and pan hidey hole down there. Because we don't have an oven, we have an Omnia stovetop oven, which so far has worked pretty good. We have this nice fridge. It is actually a boat fridge, not a just a little bar fridge. It's worked pretty good so far. We have these open shelves, which is great until you hit rough seas and the sun chips go flying across the boat.
Happens.
It happens. There's no real great place to put plates, so if somebody knows where they put plates on a fast passage, that would be great to know.
Other fast passages have real cupboards.
Other fast passengers do have real cupboards. The previous owners, since 1979, seem to have an aversion to cupboards, so we don't have any. We have lots of hidey holes. We have a pile of magnetic things, a lovely porthole that opens. We have some shelves back here. We used to have the original fridge is still there. Half of it's taken up by the wall, so we don't know if it actually works, so it's really just a hole in the counter right now. We have this, again, previous owners should have stuck to their day jobs, not construction. Table, which extends the counters, I guess. It's lovely. We have The head, which is in the widest part of the boat, which has been a big complaint for fast passage owners. I think it's great because it's huge. I can stand up in it. It has a little shower head here, so it is not a separate shower, but it does have its own little dedicated shower head with hot and cold water. We have a little sink. You'll notice there's more of everyone's favorite tiles here and on the wall. There's a big empty space in case you wanted to swing your arms around while you're having a shower. See what's going on there. There's a little medicine cabinet. It's a head. There's nothing that exciting about it. It has an electric toilet, which is pretty exciting. And then moving into the salon, where there is no floor. There's just these little exercise mats. It is a keel stepped mast, so we do have the mast that runs the whole way down. On the starboard side, we have settees on both sides, but we also have a diesel stove on the starboard side, which works really well. It's kept us very warm these last couple of weeks. And we have little comfy settees on both sides. The previous owners worked from home. I'll address the Victron in a second. The previous owners worked from home, so they put these little stand-up desks. Because there's no salon table, the desks have come in kind of handy. We also have a working barometer and a working clock. I also learned how to use a barometer recently, and it's very exciting. On the port side, we have the Victron, just chilling out in the middle of the living room. There's some interesting electrical work done in the boat. There's the Victron. We have all of the lithium batteries tucked down below. I think there's some watts there.
400?
400 watts.
Yeah, 400 amp hours.
400 amp hours of lithium batteries.
It was definitely done by the previous owners because we wouldn't have paid for the Vitrion batteries, but it's nice to have them.
And so we have all the Vitrion doodads. We have the wind generator thingy, which does work. I see why people don't have wind generators that often. It sounds like an airplane is taking off the back of the boat. We have some internet. We also have cell boosters and Wi-Fi boosters, which have come in pretty handy. What else do we have on this side? We've got outlets and panels. We've got some books, more storage space on this side. And then we have the V-berth, otherwise known as the front garage right now. There is half a cushion. There's hanging walkers on both sides. Our new Lumar hatches to replace the homemade butterfly hatches. There, we have some fishing gear down below. Our diesel tank lives in here, and then our anchor locker is way up front there.
I know what's in
Take
here.
a peek.
So,
It's a hanging locker and a mirror.
Oh wow, didn't know about the mirror.
Thus concluding the tour of our 1979 Fast Passage 39.
That's called a like a wipe.
I'm gonna wipe you from the face of the planet.